Aw, animals.
Ah, the perils of gluttony. Karma came swiftly for one voracious python who got screwed over by his dinner and ended up dying for it. After gorging itself on a whole canine, the 6-foot-long reptile tried to slither out of a grassy lot in Nigeria. But halfway through, its doggie bump got wedged in between 2 iron rods and just wouldn't budge. With no way to squeeze itself out, the snake remained in the tight spot for several hours and was dead by the time a local man discovered it. Shocked at seeing such a huge animal, the man called a few more people to inspect the greedy snake and make sure it had gone to serpent heaven. Once the python's body was freed and its stomach cut open to reveal the doggie dinner, into the fire it went. See ya, slithers! Best cut down on whole foods in your next life, eh? Here are 6 more stories about pythons.
11-foot python chomps man's trouser snake while he sits on the toilet. It's morning and nature's calling, so naturally you drop your drawers and holy crap, my dick! At least that was the case for Athaporn Bumachuai recently. During the Thai man's morning bathroom routine, a snake clamped its fangs down on his Johnson and refused to let go. Ow, 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 ow! But where most would cower in fear, the 38-year-old went balls to the wall and kicked the serpent's ass. But it wouldn't let go, and Athaporn was losing lots of blood. Then he got an idea and asked his wife for a rope, which he used to remove and restrain the monster reptile. Amazingly, Athaporn and his Willie survived the battle, although he did have to go to the hospital afterwards. He's reportedly recovering and in stable condition. But what about the python, you ask? It survived, and the authorities managed to release it back into the wild. So, after a bathroom battle for the ages, both snake and trouser snake survived. Quite the happy ending, is it not? Australian woman wakes up to find huge python in her bedroom. This video has gone viral online after an Australian woman posted it to Facebook. Queensland woman Trina Hibbard, a resident of Mission Beach, apparently woke up one day to find this 5-meter-long python in her bedroom. She affectionately named it Monty, you know, after Monty Python. According to Hibbard, she's pretty sure Monty has been around for a while and has been living in her roof. She says he used to slither down to the pool area for some food and water, and then slither back up just before sunrise. Which she seemed okay with until she woke up one day to find Monty chillin' inside her bedroom. To give you an idea of just how big Monty the 5-meter python is, that's about the length of 5 baseball bats lined up end to end. Meaning his full length could stretch out from the bedroom and into the hallway. Somehow, Hibbard managed to lock the entire snake in the bedroom while she got help. Her post says she's pretty happy the python has been dealt with, as according to the snake catcher, Monty was a kangaroo killer. So basically, Hibbard is probably lucky to be alive. Hunter saves Bambi from being snake chow. It's not often you see a hunter saving a poor defenseless animal, but that's exactly what this Miami dude did after seeing a deer in need. The white-tailed deer was spotted by a massive python that was looking for lunch in the Everglades. By the time Jimmy Wilson stumbled upon the Nat Geo-worthy scene, the snake had wrapped itself around the deer and was about to chow down. He took out a phone to record his find, and then quickly set out to rescue the poor animal. He fired at the snake to scare it away, and eventually killed it with a few more shots. With the python out of the way, Wilson turned his attention to the dazed deer, and soon managed to help the frightened creature get up and running. Phew, all in a day's work. 2 male carpet pythons battle it out.
Thanks. Yeah, shit.
An Australian mom and her young son got a slithery surprise when they looked out of the window one day last week. Rebecca Beale from Goonongarry in New South Wales said unfortunately her son learned a few new swear words during the hypnotizing sight of 2 male carpet pythons having a Barney played out on her back porch. Ah, Australia. Where else on the planet could such scenes take place than the land where every living creature, apart from the koalas, seems hell-bent on trying to poison or swallow you whole? This is a place where if the venomous spiders, rapacious crocodiles, or great white sharks don't get you, then the Joe Blakes definitely will. In Australia, you don't go to Mother Nature. No, she comes to you. Even in their own homes, Aussies get a front row seat as some of the finest creatures in the animal kingdom try to get a stranglehold on supremacy.
Sit. Can you sit on me?
According to Beale, the two pythons fell off the roof of her house on September 1st, which many down under consider to be the first day of spring. Beale said she and her little ankle biter watched with a mixture of fascination and disgust as the snakes had a real fair dinkum go at each other. Carpet pythons are native to Australia and can grow up to 13 feet long. They live on a diet of small mammals, birds, and lizards, though incidents of them swallowing small dogs and little blonde Australian boys are not unheard of. Okay, just kidding about the last one. But we don't see anyone going outside to test the theory.
Yucky. Snake. Blech.
Seems like the two snakes were happy to fight it out when they thought no one was watching. But as the pythons came to realize they weren't alone, the two supreme predators seemed to lose interest in one another. Instead, they focused their attention on the potential meal sitting right behind the glass door. Which means it was probably a good time to put down the camera, seal all the doors, and wait for the snakes to slither on back into the bush.
Owner discovers 30-foot python in the kitchen. In the sleepy village of Clearwater Bay on the outskirts of Hong Kong, a Filipino migrant worker was shocked to discover a large 30-foot python in the kitchen. The giant snake crawled into the kitchen for a bite to eat. The Filipino maid said she'd seen the snake chowing down on a tiny stray kitten that had also wandered into the kitchen. The owner of the house quickly called authorities and animal control came to remove the large python. The snake handler said the python was approximately 60 years old, judging from its size. The kitten was nowhere in sight by the time animal control arrived, and the handler said he suspected that the slight bump in the snake's middle was the only evidence of the kitten. Man squeezes 2 goats from 6-foot python. Astonished onlookers near a small village in Kerala, India, filmed and watched on in shock as an upset villager grabbed the body of a 6-foot-long python and forced 2 small mountain goats back out. The python had already eaten the 2 goats and was attempting to make its getaway when the villagers caught up to it. It was understandably slow going for an overstuffed python. Angry, the owner of the goats grabbed the python and squeezed until the poor reptile vomited up the 2 dead goats. Poor snake. Snakes were not meant to suffer from bulimia. Binging and purging isn't in their nature.
See a story that really should be animated? Suggest stories to TomoNews now.